Hello, my fellow kindred. Jan's back at it again, and today I'm bringing you something that you already know spicy question words, aka WH questions. But before we start, my objective here is not just to teach you grammar, although I know it's very important. My main goal, my objective, is to show you how to use question words in your daily lives. I think it's much more important. So let's check it out. Okay, the first WH question is when. When is always asked when we want to know the time of a particular event. So whenever you want to know the time a particular thing occurs, that's when you ask the question when. For example, when is the meeting? But if you are a school student, you could say, when is the next class? Or when is the next test? So it always talks about time. Our next WH question talks about place. And whenever you want to know the place, you always use the WH question called where. So I could say, where is the main shop? Or where is the restaurant? Or even, where is Habibi's? So when you want to know the place, you will always use the word where. And one more thing about where. Some students tend to mispronounce the word where, confusing it with the pronunciation of the to be verb were. So please repeat with me. Where, were, where, were, where, were. Excellent. Perfect. Now we have a question called who. This is always to know about a person or people. So you use the question who when you are talking about a singular person or people, which would be the plural form of a person. So I could say, who are they? So I'm talking about people, the plural. I could say, who is the boy wearing green? Who is he? That's when I talk about a singular person, and that's when you use the word who to know about a person or to know about people. Our next question is the question why. When do I use why? A lot of time we need to get a reason as to why something happened. And that is when we use the word, the question, why. So I could say, why is she always late? Or, why did you not come earlier? So you always want a reason, and that's when you use the word or question, why. Our next WH question is what. Now the question what always denotes or gives you information about an object, an idea, or an action. So let's deal with each of these parts at a time. So if I'm talking about an object, I could say, what is she doing? Or what is she eating? We are talking about a specific thing that a person is doing. So it could be an object or an action. Or I could say, what is the plan? I talked about an idea. So I could say, what is she doing when I'm talking about an action? or I could say, what is the plan when I talk about an idea? So what talks about an object, an idea, or even an action. And then we have the question which, a very important WH question because it talks about things in particular. So I could say, which subjects do you take this year? So when I want to get information about things or which things, like which colors would you prefer? So we talk about things or we get information about things when we ask the question starting with a which. Next one is the WH question how, which is also used to derive information or to seek specific information. It's used in many ways. The first method or the first way that you would use the word how or the word how is to know the manner or the method of doing something. So, if I were to ask you, how do you go to work? Or how do you commute to work? I'm talking about a manner or method that you used to go to work. So you could tell me, I drive to work, or I take the train, I take the bus, or even I take a cab. So how, in a way, denotes the manner or the method of doing something. Our next question, the same question, using the word how, could talk about the price, which is non-countable. So I always use how followed by a much when I'm talking about the price or the amount of something. So I could say, how much did you pay for the dress? So I'm talking about the price or the amount. In other hand, I will use a how followed by the word many when I'm talking about a specific quantity. So here I don't talk about the price, I talk about the quantity. So I could say, how many shoes did you buy? Or I could say, how many books did you read? So I'm talking about a quantity which is very specific and therefore it is countable. Now you can also use the word how followed by the word long when you are talking about the duration, or in other words, you are talking about the time period during which something happens. So I could say, how long did it take you to travel from Merida? So your answer could be, it took me 2 hours or 3 hours. So we are talking about the time period or the duration. Or you could say, how long did it take you to finish this lesson? It could be 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Our next expression using the word how, the next question using the word how, when it's followed by the word far, we are always talking about the distance. I mean the physical distance. So I can say, how far is the local bakery from your house? Or, how far is your heart from mine? Or, how far is your touch from my skin? We are talking about the distance between two specific areas. So that's it, my lads. I hope you liked the video, and I almost forgot. there is some exercise attached to this video that will be corrected at class, so don't forget to make it. Okay, see ya guys.